strange. Come with us and you will see. This our town of Halloween. This is Halloween, this is Halloween. Pumpkins scream in the dead of night. This is Halloween, everybody make a scene. Trick or treat, tell the neighbors gonna die of fright. It's our town, everybody scream. In this town of Halloween.
I am the one hiding under your bed. Teeth ground sharp and eyes glowing red.
I am the one hiding under your stairs. Fingers like snakes and spiders in my hair.
This is Halloween, this is Halloween, 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 Halloween. In this town we call home. Everyone hail to the pumpkin song.
In this town, don't we love it now? Everybody's waiting for the next surprise.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another issue of Hops Geek News, a podcast where we talk about comic books, movies, TV shows. We talk about all the good stuff. You want it, we got it. Shout out to all 7 listeners who have returned this week, as we are going to be doing a commentary. If you remember, I did a Batman Forever commentary a couple months ago with my heterosexual life mate. Well, this time I got Lauren to join. We're going to do a Nightmare Before Christmas commentary. So we're going to dive into real quick what we're drinking, and then we're going to talk about some quick news real quick, and then we're going to dive into the movie. So it's a good hour and 20-minute long Tim Burton film that this is the perfect way to kick off spooky season. This is the first one we're going to do. Who knows if we'll do some more coming up, but yeah, if you found us, thank you for being here. If you don't know where to find us, Hops News on all your favorite podcasting platforms. We release episodes weekly. And like I said, I am Matt. I am here with Lauren. And the first beer on deck tonight is the beer formerly known as Basic Bitch by Brewbus Brewing. It is a pumpkin spice latte milk stout. Whip out your bedazzled cell phone, call up Becky and Madison, and tell them it's time to live, laugh, and love with a delicious Basic. You see, they took out the bitch. I have issues with that. Anyways, this sweet milk stout is brewed with the hemp and coffee exchange coffee, pumpkin spices, and vanilla beans. But we know you only care that the can is Instagrammable.
It's Instagrammable.
They got rid of the bitch. It's now just Basic blank exclamation point. So Brewbus, what you doing, bud? You're going to let me know why you took out bitch? Is it, we got a little talking to do here. What's going on? Huh? You got a little brew. What's going on?
So I sent you that one last year or just this year?
No, you sent me it last year because it said bitch on the can, and I was drinking it by a fire on a fall night with a scarf like the basic bitch that I am.
So how does it compare in taste outside of the big fail on the label?
It's still actually really smooth. It's got a dark, stout, smoky look to it. It's got a lot of pumpkin flavor to it. I mean, it doesn't quite taste like the pumpkin stout that I had last week on last episode, but
the one from Western Collective.
Oh man, can't wait to get you that one. And no, it's still good. I think it's delicious. It's a pumpkin spice latte milk stout. It's got a lot of those pumpkin flavors in it, and so I'm happy with the beer flavor. I am unhappy with the labeling, and I'm going to get to the bottom of this. It's the last thing that I ever do.
Investigative team is out right now investigating.
Yes. What are you starting off with? I know we're going to crack open a beer that we both have as well here shortly, so I wanted to prime myself.
So I'm finishing up my beer that I cracked open during Hops News, our live show we do Wednesday nights, which was awesome tonight. We had an attorney on that specializes in brewery legal stuff. So I thought that was really cool. Incorporation, trademark stuff, all that fun stuff. But so I just spent the last 4 days drinking Red Stripe in Jamaica. So I really needed a delicious beer because Red Stripe's not the best. It's not bad. It's not the best. Well, yesterday I was like, I'm not even going to drink. I'm so done drinking. And we were having our last lunch before going to the airport. And my friend and her husband, they both ordered a drink. And as the waiter's walking away, I go, excuse me, can I have a Red Stripe, please?
I'll take one more Red Stripe for good measure.
Erica goes, there it is.
Well, you told me that somebody even tried to mansplain to you about when you asked a little question, just an innocent Guinness question, and somebody trying to mansplain beer to the Hoppy mommy. Do they not know who you are?
They do now.
Unbelievable.
No, I actually told this story on Hops News. And of course, my one friend Lexi was like, I don't want to hear the story again.
Well, guess what? You're going to hear it again.
But so I had read beforehand, I read an article about the beer in Jamaica because I had considered bringing my own beer, and I had more than one friend be like, did you pack your own beer? No, Red Stripe's not a bad lager. It's a decent lager. And I had read that you can find Guinness everywhere. I was like, I can live off Red Stripe and Guinness for 4 days. I'll be fine. And so we get there. It's Red Stripe and Red Stripe Light everywhere. We find an English pub. So I'm like, okay, they got to have Guinness.
Jamaican for beer.
And I mean, yeah, they're very proud of Red Stripe. And so I asked the bartender, I go, excuse me, do you have Guinness? And one of my friends is like, why do you keep asking people that? I'm like, because I read that they have Guinness everywhere. And he goes, no, we don't have Guinness, just Red Stripe. He goes, Guinness is a stout, and stouts are more bitter than lagers. And I was like literally just looking at him. I didn't even know how to respond. And my friend Erin jumps in front of me. She goes, she has a beer podcast and a beer blog. I think she knows that.
That would have been the perfect time to be like, do you know who I am? Whip out some stickers. Like, do you know who I am?
I don't think I realized what was happening. And then the guy almost seemed like he started to backpedal, like, oh, I didn't realize Americans liked Guinness. That was his follow-up, that he didn't think. No,
what he was probably thinking is, I didn't realize women knew beer.
I don't know what it was, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But no, Aaron came to my rescue like a white knight or a knight in shining white armor or whatever it is on the white horse.
Excuse me?
It was pretty funny.
That is kind of funny.
But then my one friend left property to go pick up something else, and he brought me back a 6-pack of Guinness. So, but
they did have Guinness.
They had Guinness on the island. They didn't have it at the all-inclusive resort, so I had to pay for it. But he had to go to a store and get it, and it's extra foreign stout there, which is 7.5% as opposed to Guinness, which is usually like 4%. And they did have in the airport, because we stayed in the resort because of COVID. We weren't trying to venture out. We stayed in our safe little bubble. But at the airport, Tracy, who we've mentioned many times on here, she's like, oh, look what I found. And it was a dragon stout, and it said Dragon Jamaican Stout. And I was like, oh shit, I've had that at Animal Kingdom multiple times, and it says Jamaican Stout. And I completely forgot about that. But that's actually a pretty good beer, but I didn't see that till the airport.
So uncultured. I can't believe it. Unbelievable.
But now I'm drinking a delicious.
No, but what did you start out drinking on Hops News tonight? You care to share?
Oh, I had a Southern Tier, pumpkin. It was a cold brew, Imperial Pumpkin Ale Nitro.
Folks, it is with the deepest regret that I need to inform you. I'm breaking up with this podcast. This podcast is over.
As I rush to Total Wine tomorrow to buy you one.
Maybe
I'm saving it for your impending birthday.
Unbelievable. You do a podcast with somebody. You enter their house.
Think you know a guy.
You share your life virtually with a person. And then you come to find out that the show that you miss, they're bringing out delicious pumpkin beer, stabbing you in the back like I'm Julius Caesar. Unbelievable. It's not even March.
Ugh, I don't even know what a basic bitch would stab.
She was choking me with a scarf. That's what she was doing.
Choking you with a scarf. There it is.
She was like, die, bitch, die, bitch. Real quick, before we dive into, I do have a funny story, actually, that yours kind of reminded me of. So on Facebook, I lived in New Hampshire, bought a house. We loved that house in New Hampshire. And I popped up on my stories. It was like 4 years ago, you bought your house. And that was the first house you ever owned. And it was in New Hampshire. Because take a drink every time I say New Hampshire, by the way. But
I should pull up the drinking rules for Nightmare.
Oh, do that. But anyways, I loved that house with a passion. And I just shared in my Facebook stories like, oh man, miss it more and more every day. This fucking kid who I forgot was on my Facebook, who I knew in middle school, out of nowhere, like messages me on Facebook and was like, nah, we're good. Stay where you're at. And I was just like, huh? And then I was like, all right. And he was like
funny.
No, like he was legitimately being I think he was trying to be like a dick. And then I was like, cool story, kid. He goes, just saying. And so I gave him a thumbs up. He goes, right. Thumbs up the bums make the world better. But yeah, stay out. And I was like, I'll stay out because the burnout told me to. I'll make sure to stay out. He goes, as long as we're on the same page. I was like, all right. He goes, hops for life. Keep it thuggin', Duncan. I was like,
thuggin' Duncan.
I was like, just because the kid who stocks shelves at freaking the local Hannaford supermarket told me to stay out of New Hampshire in a xenophobic way. Like this kid is one of those like super racist kind of kids too. And I forgot he even existed. But I was just like, Haven't talked to this kid in like 15 years, forgot he even existed. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, he was just like, stay out of my New Hampshire. You hear? And I'm like,
That's pretty funny though.
buddy, I'm from over there. What do you mean? Like, whatever, dude. And it's kind of funny because he lives and works in the same town as Josh by Four Nerds by Nerds. They both live in Laconia, New Hampshire. So I was like, Josh, go find this kid for me real quick and tell him I send my regards. But yeah, it was just one of those weird interactions. And I do have a bit of news though on the real quick. I promise we're going to dive into our commentary in just a moment, but Airbnb for spooky season is just for $5 a night. You'll get a chance to stay in one of the most iconic houses in horror film history with up to 4 people. Upon arrival, you'll receive a virtual greeting from none other than David Arquette's sheriff, Dewey Riley himself. So,
oh my God,
Airbnb is putting the original Scream house as an Airbnb for 3 nights, October 29th through 31st for $5
the house
a night.
everyone gets murdered in.
Yeah, that one. That's the one. So
with the doggy door, or not the dog. Yeah, the dog door in the garage.
Yeah. He'll host you virtually for your stay. And after exploring the house itself with all its screen accurate details, such as the knife marks on the doors to the garage, you'll be treated to a movie marathon of all 4 Scream films on VHS to catch you up to speed, because you're living in the 90s for a night, right? And it's going to catch you up to speed before they show you the 5th installment, where there'll also be a direct phone line that'll link you up to Ghostface. Of course, you'll also be able to indulge in a range of 90s snacks like Jiffy Pop or Ready Whip topped ice cream, and even take home a Scream memorabilia bundle, including the DVDs for all 4 movies, Woodsboro High gear, a Scream 2002 movie poster, and more. More importantly, only 3 night stays will be made available for October 27th, 29th, and 31st. So fans of the franchise should be on the lookout once bookings open. So in addition to offering the house up for Airbnb rentals during the spooky season, Airbnb will also be making a one-time donation to Ween Dream, which provides free Halloween costumes to children in need across the U.S. Protecting the town of Woodsboro is my life's duty, and I've certainly developed a knack for escaping Ghostface, Riley said. As your host, I'll be keeping a watchful eye on guests to ensure no one gets surprised by an unexpected plot twist. Trust me, horror movies always keep it interesting. So for fans of the cult classic, Airbnb will open bookings for the Scream House on October 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern. And I have airline credit. Like, that'd be dope as fuck. I would kill to stay in the Scream House. That would be super rad. So
I'd rather stay in the Christmas Story house.
Yeah, not me. I would stay in the slasher. Oh, I love Scream. We are doing a Scream episode in a couple of weeks, but that's just a little bit of news I wanted to share to kick off our spooky season. We'll dive into more deeper news and all the stuff that we've read or watched, because I've got a crap ton on next episode. But did you have anything you wanted to throw in there real quick?
Oh, I did have a couple quick news items. So Kelsey Grammer, also known as Frasier, also known as Beast, just released 2 beers he created to be served at Anchor Bar in Buffalo, New York. Ooh. So if you're in that area, check it out. I just thought that was so random. Like this, I didn't know he was into beer. Jeffrey Dean Morgan's son got to be a walker in recent Walking Dead episode. That was cute. Agent Carter One Shot was recently removed from Disney Plus for some unknown reason. A lot of people are very upset about that. They don't understand why, especially considering Inhumans is on there, because I thought we were pretending Inhumans.
I thought we were pretending that did not exist, but here we are.
I was shocked because I had looked for it. I was like, let me double check this before I report this news. And I was like, what the fuck is this doing on here? Okay. And then my last piece of news, which I'm actually very excited for, and I feel like my mom will be too. Russell T Davies is coming back to Doctor Who. So he was the showrunner from 2005 to 2009. So he did the 9th and 10th Doctor. And he'll be taking over when Jodie Whittaker leaves. So he did some of like the most amazing episodes. I know my mom always says, like, if it says written by Russell T Davies, it's going to be an amazing episode.
That's a wicked good episode then.
Yeah. So he's coming back. So that should be pretty awesome. And he gets to pick the 14th Doctor. Somebody asked him like, oh, who do you think? And he's like, I'm not thinking of anything yet. I am still a viewer and I want to watch Jodie Whittaker, hang up her sonic screwdriver, and then we'll take over.
Well, they usually introduce the Doctor though at the very last episode. So I'm sure
he has ideas, but he's not saying anything.
Oh, I hope it's a redhead, because he always wants to be a ginger. He's like, am I a ginger?
Oh,
am I a girl?
Right.
So I hope it's a, get me Ronald Weasley. What is he up to these days?
But when Matt Smith though had the long hair, he seemed a little concerned that he was a girl for a second. Remember that? He's like,
yeah, he's like,
am I?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's always like, am I a girl? Do I have red hair? He goes.
But yeah, was it Tenet? Which was it? Tenet? That
Yeah,
seemed
it was
disappointed
Tenet.
he wasn't a redhead. Okay,
It would be perfect. I would love. I think that'd be pretty cool. But
should be Amelia Pond.
oh well, she's too wrapped up in Marvel making that good money these days. So.
Yep. All right.
Anyways, that's kind of all we had this week. Like we said, we want to keep it short. We have an hour and 20-minute film on deck. This is Lauren's favorite movie. And so to kick off Halloween season, what better way than to do a commentary on Nightmare Before Christmas? So cue it on up on your Disney Plus, on your VHS, on your DVDs. It doesn't matter where it's at. Join us. And here we go on 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, that classic style Disney, like going through the clouds.
Oh, I have to turn this down, huh?
Oh yes.
So it's interesting though, you wouldn't have gotten this originally because it was Touchstone Pictures, because Disney did not release this under Disney. They released it under their adult one because they were concerned it was going to be too creepy for kids. So like, if you've seen Roger Rabbit, Sister Act, like you didn't used to get the Walt Disney before. So it's still kind of,
well, that's what
I still find it humorous when I see Disney before Nightmare.
I don't remember ever seeing the Disney before it, but then it goes right into the Walt Disney Pictures Presents.
Right with the music. It's got to be one of the best soundtracks too. So Danny Elfman didn't even know the whole script or anything. Tim Burton told him what he wanted and he just fucking ran with it and wrote all the songs and did
he's a beast.
Superb job. Okay, so now we're looking at the trees. How much do you want to go into each of these lands though?
Oh, definitely the turkey one. Although that turkey looks like the one from Thanksgiving. I'm pretty sure you're going to get murderous turkeys in there.
Well, I just imagine, because he does the fat kids a lot.
Oh,
so I just imagine
yeah.
all these fat Tim Burton characters watching football and eating.
I will be honest. I want this pumpkin tattooed on me to the opening of the tree. Like, I feel like that'd be a rad pumpkin tattoo somehow.
I'd also love to see Tim Burton's version of St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, I feel
drunk people.
I feel like you probably drunk people and then like the creepy little Irishman. But
yeah,
this song is one of the most. I feel like if you haven't seen this movie, the song is probably the most iconic song of like the '90s almost, or even today. Just Halloween. This is what you think of. Probably like what everything. It's Halloween. Even my 5-year-old sings
instantly get the Halloween vibes, no matter like what time of year it is. If you put it on, but I used to
well too.
Blast this the morning of October 1st, and yet somehow the last few years my kids have broken me early and we've watched it early. Listen,
the world's going to shit. All right, you just enjoy
even
the good things.
Before that, there was always some reason like, oh, we're doing a Halloween cruise early. We can't come home to an undecorated house or some bullshit, and I just gave.
I will say though, like for a kids movie, this is frightening. Like we haven't let the 5-year-old watch this yet, just because we're like, this kid's gonna have some nightmares still.
See, my kids get just introduced to it immediately the second they're born.
I have no problem with that. Actually,
they come out and it's
with the werewolf and the flannel and stuff. That's my spirit animal right there. If I lived in this, I'd be the werewolf and the flannel.
Well, my son, and I think I even said this on the one last year, when he was 2, he started calling Jack Jackie. So now when I'm talking about Jack, I say Jackie.
Old Jackie. Jackie out here knocking it out of the pack.
So it's crazy, though, to look. I mean, because you don't see this animation outside of Tim Burton anymore, but it would take them a whole week to do 1 minute.
Well, I mean, nonetheless, though, that's what I'm saying. Like the animation is still very much held up despite being an old film.
Right. Because it's just so cool. But, Tim Burton was originally inspired. And if anybody who's been listening to us for a while, it's probably repetitive because I actually did re-listen to the bit of our episode last year. So I remember some of it. When he would see Halloween stuff come down and Christmas stuff go up and like windows. And he was like, well, what if the two holidays combined? And his inspirations were like the Grinch and Rudolph.
Oh,
so obviously you see Rudolph in the claymation. Although this movie is a lot less racist than Rudolph. Rudolph is really racist.
Rudolph is super racist. And to be fair,
no of mine.
Target has definitely taken the combining Halloween and Christmas because I went to Target last week and they already have Christmas lights in the back corner next to all the Halloween stuff.
They always seem to sell the lights early, but yet you can't get the Halloween stuff earlier than like 6 weeks before Christmas because it's still the back to school. But I wonder if that's for like the crazy people that start decorating outside early. I don't know. There's Jack.
I just want to know like the correlation of every girl that wore Nightmare Before Christmas, like pajama pants in high school, definitely was buying weed from the local dealer. There's a Venn diagram. That's a giant circle.
I am wearing Nightmare Before Christmas pajama pants.
You definitely rolled in with like a pack of cigarettes and a Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee. If you lived in Massachusetts, like that's what you were wearing, you would roll in.
No, I definitely love Nightmare back in the day, but back in the day, you couldn't buy like the stuff. I have so much homemade Nightmare stuff because you used to not be able to buy it. Like I have a lot of pumpkins that I like hand painted and like the Christmas wreath at Christmas time. I made the wreath out of like cardboard and whatnot. And now you can buy it.
Nightshade wore off, Sally. I used to think like no mayor ever could be this incompetent. And then 2016 happened. So now it's very much like, oh, okay.
Okay, but kudos to Tim Burton. Because, okay, anytime you watch a movie when you're young, you don't pick up on things until you watch it when you're older. And I was watching an Honest trailer. So definitely look up the Honest trailer for Nightmare. It's awesome. All the Honest trailers are. And he goes, what, a two-faced politician? Oh, I see what you did there.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Right. Neither did I, because the first time I watched this movie, I was like 10.
Yeah, I mean, you're wicked young when you watch this, and you're just like, oh, everything's so colorful and spooky, and then Jack's the hero, of course, and poor Sally. I always wonder how she didn't get away sooner, because old dude's in like a wheelchair. Why didn't she just push him over like she just did a couple minutes ago?
So you look here, you see the cello or whatever that's called. The face inside of it is actually Danny Elfman. Oh, I think you'll see it later when they're playing Christmas music. You see it a little better.
Nice work, Bone Daddy. That was always like my favorite line growing up for some reason.
Yeah. But I was, when I rewatched the movie, because I've seen it so many times, I love just looking around at all the detail. Like there's just, you see like rats running around in the opener that you would never see in the beginning, and just so many details. But that's, not just Tim Burton, that's Disney in general.
They really do a good job of paying attention to detail. And I like even Zero is in his house in the graveyard. Like that's dark. Mm-hmm.
So Tim Burton, I guess one time said every story has a beginning, middle, and end, but not necessarily in that order. And if you watch Frankenweenie, Corpse Bride, and this, all three characters have a dog. And, the dog's alive in Frankenweenie, and then he's a zombie, and then he's Bones in Corpse Bride, and then he's a ghost in this. So of course a lot of people say that all three of them are Jack Skellington.
I can see it. It is. I do love the other ones he did, but none are more iconic than obviously Jack Skellington for whatever reason.
Yes.
And I would love to get like the backstory of how he is just like the man around town. He's just like owning it. You're telling me he couldn't have saved Sally sooner?
I don't think he realized. And I think that's part of it. He was just so wrapped up in his own depression and his own shit that he wasn't like,
that is true,
paying attention to other people. And he doesn't have that epiphany. And you see that, spoilers, obviously, I'm sure, at the end when he's like, Sally, how did I not see this before?
Jack, the Pumpkin King. I will say I never really grew up realizing he was legit depressed though.
Of course not, because you're a kid. But it's just like, even the person with, who seems like they have the most successful life and is revered by many doesn't mean they're happy.
Oh, yeah. It's like, look at celebrities these days. You know what I'm saying? Like Robin Williams, things like that.
Britney Spears. Oh, yeah. Robin Williams. Yeah, that's a
Britney Spears is definitely like Sally. She was held against her will. Okay.
Yeah, there's a new documentary on Netflix.
Free Britney. That's all I got to say.
Britney v. Spears. But even this, like, I love this part with the ghost coming out of the pumpkins.
She's still just creeping.
So it's actually Danny Elfman that's singing, but he's not the one that voices Jack. The guy that voices him is the douchebag from Princess Bride.
Oh, that's right. You are right.
Kids.
It's just like banger after banger with these songs, though.
Yes, they're all just so fucking perfection. When I was little, though, I didn't realize that Zero's nose is actually a jack-o'-lantern. I thought it was like obviously it's a play on Rudolph, but I thought it was red.
Oh, I always thought it was too.
But yeah, I didn't realize till I was much older, and I had like drawn Zero on something, and I painted his nose red. But yeah, it's an actual little jack-o'-lantern, and it lights up.
And there's an empty that calls.
They re-released this, I think, 2007 in 3D in the movie theaters.
So that's right. They did. Back when 3D was like the new upcoming thing.
And it gave you a headache.
Oh, dude. Especially if you wear glasses. Having to wear the glasses on top of the glasses was brutal.
Yeah, remember they were like, I think they sold like 5 3D TVs ever.
Oh, yeah. That was like the big thing at
but then
Black Friday.
You couldn't watch for more than 45 minutes or something.
I got to take a break. Or you had to switch off to 3D.
No, 3D has vastly improved.
Deadly Night.
So there is a documentary on Netflix. I think there's a few documentaries on this movie at this point, but you can see like the actual set, and it's just so crazy to see like how small it is.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you think everything looks so big here, and to get the camera at this angle, and then you look at them working on it, and it's just like a table, basically. And it's insane.
Yeah. And a lot of the cast like took stuff. So there was some other documentary where they were like, yeah, take whatever. And this one guy had like the hill, the Halloween hill.
Oh man. I wonder how much that stuff would go for at an auction these days.
I know. I think a lot of them just want to keep it though. And like the director, what is it? Henry Selick. So Tim Burton didn't direct this because he was busy doing Batman. Yes. But Henry, I might be mispronouncing his last name. I'll fix it next week if I am. So I was watching something with him recently. He said it's so crazy because, this movie tanked when it came out in 93 and it got a cult following and honestly, it's only gotten big, I feel like in the last 10 years, because I remember when I was getting married, I found A Nightmare Before Christmas cake that I really liked, but it was a beach wedding. And I was like, oh, can you replace Zero, with this? And I didn't expect her to know who Zero was. Like I had to say like the ghost dog.
She's and like, now, listen, uncultured swine, I know.
But now, everybody knows who it is, and they used to not.
Huh. Oh, I can see the jack-o'-lantern now that I actually pay attention.
Right. But you just subconsciously, I feel like your brain just fixes it like Rudolph, especially because Jack even makes the comment like, what in the nose you have? And you can just see like the clay on the floor, how they like did the
no
lines.
Wonder Jack's depressed. He can't even get a day off before the mayor's like, Jack, we need you.
Right.
Jack, you're like, God damn, give me a day, man. Like,
but I mean, this is another jab at politicians. I'm only an elected official.
He's like that crazy ex-girlfriend. You don't answer after one ring, he freaks out. Jack, where are you?
Starts texting.
I'm driving around town. Jack, I'm freaking out, man.
Okay, so what I was saying before. So Henry Selick has said, like in the past few years, he's actually had kids on Halloween that, show up at his door dressed like the characters, and he actually invites them in and shows them movie memorabilia. He's like, yeah, I want to find out where he lives and dress my kids.
I mean, on the first hand, I'm like, yo, let me find out where he lives. But on the other hand, it's like, that's creepy. Hey, kids, you want to come in and see some movie memorabilia?
Right. When he first said that, I was like, it's probably like a really nice neighborhood, though. And
they're all probably rich and with their parents and stuff, and everybody knows who
right.
He is, I'm sure.
But, my 9-year-old was 0 when she was 3, and I had to make the costume because they didn't sell them. And I was at Target the other day. There was like 2 different 0 costume options.
Really?
And how cool is the sun? That the sun's a jack-o'-lantern.
Oh, the sun's a jack-o'-lantern. I wish. Like, for me, this is my ideal fall time. Like, if the sun was a jack-o'-lantern every day and you just had like dead trees everywhere with leaves falling off, it fills my soul. Even 0 is like, yo, dude, chill. It's like the suicide forest or some shit.
Yeah, it's so cool. I mean, you Tim Burton art right away too.
I would love to see his version of these other holidays. Easter, turkey. Obviously, you got did you notice that the Thanksgiving turkey's facing the other way now? In the beginning of the movie, it's facing to the right. Now it's facing to the left.
Oh, how funny.
I just picked up on that. I didn't even realize.
That's pretty funny.
But I feel like if Disney were to ever remake this, you would have him go to the different holidays at this point, and it would just kind of ruin it.
Once it got really popular, Disney wanted to, and Tim Burton didn't want to touch it. Oh my gosh. How funny.
But yeah, I don't think this is a movie that'll ever get remade.
No, Tim Burton wants to leave it as is. So Disney wanted to give him eyes because they thought him not having eyes was too creepy. And I guess people
That's where they drew the line of creepiness. Not Oogie Boogie.
Yeah, they were adamant like he. Well, I mean, they won because he doesn't have eyes.
Like, bro, he's a skeleton. What do you think?
But yeah, when the Disney execs like first wanted to see like what they were doing and everything, they showed them this scene though. What's this? What's this?
You can kind of get his Grinch inspiration from this town because he's looking at it from the hill, and Whoville is always like down in the valley, kind of from the mountain.
Yeah, but it's an opposite reaction though.
Oh yeah,
one's like disdain, and the other's like.
Well, to be fair,
so
he's never
actually,
seen
if you go on
else.
Right. But if you go on YouTube, there are videos of like dumbass people going up to Jack Skellington at Disney asking him about the Grinch, and then going up to the Grinch and asking him about Jack. And they answer the questions. It's really stupid.
Oh, do they really?
See, yeah, it's silly. This was my favorite thing though. When I was little, just like oh my gosh, it's Halloween. Oh my gosh, it's Christmas.
Well, it's pretty. I mean, it's going from the vibrant colors. I mean, you got the vibrant colors of fall, and then you roll right into like the reds pop out, the greens, things like that. The elves look kind of like the kids in the elves. They look creepy. Oh God. Or Hobby Lobby, because they always have Christmas set up already too.
Yeah, I try not to go there anymore though. It's so hard not to go.
We haven't gone there in a couple of years because they do some pretty shitty business work.
Yeah. So the amount of detail though, like when you watch this just Christmas Town, like you got to look around, like everything, even like the wallpapers have mistletoe. I remember watching like one time and realized there was like a penguin in a scene. I'm like, what the heck? There's a penguin on the floor right there on the pillow. It's like, why is there a penguin on the pillow?
Nobody notices the creepy skeleton creeping from house to house.
But even like the dude is as tall as these houses. Like candy canes. I know. Yes.
This song,
because they're all little elves.
The children are asleep.
And you got the kids sleeping in drawers.
How you fitting 4 kids to one bed? That's some Charlie and the Chocolate Factory stuff. Grandpa Joe's going to pop. I thought there was 4, but there might be 5. That's like Grandpa Joe popping up in Willy Wonka.
Grandpa Joe is such a lazy
He's
bum.
such a loser.
It's a big good feeling all around. So there's a scene coming up where they're making cookies, and there's no logic in how they're making cookies.
None? Oh man, a good pie.
No, because I don't think there is. So they're going to show it, and like the way they put the cookie cutters on the dough, like the dough on the outside just vanishes. It doesn't make any sense.
You got those.
I love that the trees right here with the snow, they're like so Tim Burton combined with Dr. Seuss.
Oh, yes.
Oh, maybe we missed the cookies.
I think we might have. Now we're at the Christmas Town. Santa's sassy in this movie. Although, how could you not be?
So this here, you see, it actually looks like he has claws.
It did. Well, that's, yes.
So I didn't realize, like, when they call him Sandy Claus, that he thought he had claws in the shadow.
I didn't pick up on that either. I thought that's just he misheard the name.
Right. Just keep in mind, this is 20 years of me watching this movie. Nope, that is not correct. It is almost 30 years of me watching.
Oh my God, it's that old?
That I picked that up. It's 28 years old. Yeah.
Like, bro, Jack ran away because you're like, you don't get no days off. Sound the alarms.
Look at that umbrella. When did Batman Forever come out? 91, 92, 93?
93, I'm pretty sure.
So this is 93, and that umbrella is the exact umbrella Penguin had.
Well, then it might have been 92. I don't know. I always get somebody's going to correct us on that we messed up.
It'll be Tim.
It will be. Old Tim making his Stan Lee cameo. Frog's breath. Like I was literally just a frog that like burps.
I know. Yeah, so this is Kevin McAllister's mom here.
Oh, that's who plays her?
Or you got Schitt's Creek. Catherine O'Hara.
She's in a lot
she
of
also
things.
plays Shock, the witch trick-or-treater.
Oh,
Yeah.
I always forget.
Well, she's done a few things with Tim Burton, like she did Beetlejuice.
Oh, that's right.
Well, and if you and in at the Hollywood Bowl, I think they're doing it this year too. They've done like a live performance, and it's worth YouTubing it. You can watch the whole thing where they go through the whole movie.
Interesting.
And in the one in Hollywood Bowl, they actually have the people come out and sing it. And one of the trick-or-treaters is Pee Wee Herman. And then one of them is Catherine O'Hara, and the other one is Danny Elfman.
She's got them with the spoon trick.
What they do traveling is, I did this a few years ago. They had a live orchestra play the songs, and they played the movie up top, and then you just listen to it out.
I would love to see this on Broadway. This would make such a great Broadway. I know, she got the spoon out.
She's the best one in this movie.
She's like the only smart one in this entire movie. Jack's back. He's saving the day, of course. Emergency town meeting, and that's when I'm opening up the All Hallows Imperial Pumpkin Ale from, it's Hourglass Brewing, right? That's where this one's from?
Their logo is your beer, Hourglass.
It fits this perfectly because it's a skeleton with a pumpkin for a head. And so Imperial Pumpkin, Hourglass really makes some good stuff. And I'm always excited to try their things. 8.3%. And it's brewed with real pumpkin and spices. So that's the next beer I've opened.
They have two locations, one in Longwood, Florida, and one in Orlando, Florida. And the one in Orlando, Florida, you can get there by the ale line.
Ooh,
and they actually they put at the top of their brewery like silhouettes of all these different fandoms, and the Halloween Hill with Jack Skellington on it is up there.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, this is a really good one. I like this, and I love the label. I'm going to keep this label.
So this is different from the one they did last year, but they're the same brewery that did like the Munster Squad beer last year.
I remember doing the I love those cans. Those cans were sick.
Yeah.
When I tell you this, I'm going to tell you about Christmas Town.
He gets so frustrated. Oh, wow. This is a pumpkin beer.
Yeah. I like it. It's pretty good.
No, it is good. It's not too sweet. It's a strong beer, but it's still pumpkin.
My beer should be ready here soon. Hopefully it's carbonated and ready to go. Are there locks? Is it filled with the pox? All the
nice.
rhyming.
Who's the one guy? I forget who the one guy is. I should look it up. So the one who's like the fashion designer or something, he plays a bunch of people. So if you watch the thing on YouTube at the Hollywood Bowl, you'll see that more than, one person plays more than one character.
Huh. I do like how he took all this shit from there, and now everybody's so enamored. Ooh, shiny.
He gets so frustrated though, and you feel so bad. It's like, just don't understand.
It's filled me with joy, which, to be fair, Christmas does fill everybody with joy, because you get that weird month of November where it's just like the doldrums, and you don't know, you can't quite decorate for Christmas yet, but you can't have Halloween stuff up yet.
So I have all my pumpkins have like Jack faces at this point. So I turn them all around in November, and then I flip them back around in December and put Santa hats on them.
That's actually clever.
I even like hot glue a hat on like my Sally. Well, if you use hot glue, it peels off really well.
Yeah.
So if it won't sit nicely, I have these like mini hats I hot glue onto like Sally and stuff.
Is Sandy Claus.
Chris Sarandon is the guy who voices Jack. So that was the bad guy in Princess Bride.
The lobster. Yeah.
Huge and red.
This dude just has an axe.
Oh, William Hickey is the evil scientist. So he's the guy in Christmas Vacation that like burns the tree down.
Oh.
That's the evil scientist.
Jack finally
Here it
feels
is.
alive.
Greg Proops. Oh, I'd be shocked if he was still alive. I mean, he was really old in Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, the dude is old. Sandy Claus. No wonder everybody loves Jack.
So
he puts on a
Greg
show.
Proops. He does. He's amazing.
And then the poor dude's
He's
back to
actually
being
in
depressed.
Star Wars Episode 1. It's true.
Oh, well. Poor Jack. Can't get no respect. They only want him for his goods.
Well, he gets all the respect, but it's not what he
He's
wants.
got a pretty sweet setup, though, although he's sleeping awfully close to that fire, sir. Where is your safety?
Well, he's all bone. What's he going to do? Is the bone going to melt?
Apparently not.
I mean, it's not that hot a fire.
I'm going to cremate you.
I do love how he is decorated. And you have the spider web with the Christmas lights. And it's funny, though, like Zero, like he has Zero about like what when he goes out for Halloween.
He totally ditched him. Zero's like, dude, I'm going to go take a nap.
He leaves him at the dog shelter of a graveyard.
He's like, dude, I'm just going to, don't go anywhere. Chill here. How does this dude have an ice pack on his empty dome?
Guy.
Like, dude, you got your head literally pops off.
Because see, now I picture him with a toupee and a cigarette or a cigar in front of a Christmas tree.
He said, Jack, you gotta pick better friends, dude. You're pretty awfully close with this shitty doctor. Like, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
Like, you have all this power and stuff, and you're telling me you're hanging out with this awful dude, this doctor who poisons this girl and keeps her captive.
But even just like if you look at the background of like how they did all this, it's just insane.
It's kind of like a Rapunzel, though. She's up in that tower.
100%, yeah. Well, and did we say the origination of this movie? Like he wrote a poem years ago. So Tim Burton worked for Disney for a while, which is kind of funny because when you think of original Disney stuff like in the 80s, you don't think of Tim Burton at all. But he worked on a lot of, the early 80s projects or whatever. So he wrote a poem called Nightmare Before Christmas, which you can buy. It's pricey. And he tried to make it into like a short, and they hadn't. Finally, they okayed the movie.
Oh, I forgot that. See,
but I don't think Sally was in the original story.
But you gotta have love. It's a Disney movie. It wouldn't be Disney without love. All of a sudden, Jack's like that stoner kid.
One of my
really good at
very
chemistry.
good friends. So a friend, and I don't forget this, and it's so funny because she'll come over to my house at Halloween, and she thinks it's funny how into the movie I am. But a very close friend of mine, her like cousin or something, dated Tim Burton, and Sally is designed after her. Oh,
wow. That's weird.
She's even like pulled up pictures of her cousin. I'm like, oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah. And then she goes, but then he dumped her for
Helena Bonham Carter.
What's her face? That's in all his movies now.
I think they got divorced.
Bellatrix.
I'm pretty sure they've been divorced.
I think so too.
Man, this is just like one big chemistry experiment. Everyone's doing all sorts of crazy stuff.
I know. They're all mad scientists.
I know. Like, this is why Halloween's the best. You like Halloween, you're really good at chemistry, except for I'm not. So that theory doesn't hold up at all.
But like, how badass is Sally? She's like, I'm going to throw this down there or ease this down there. And then I'm going to jump out of here like a mad woman and sew myself back together.
She's literally the James Bond of this whole entire town.
Humpty Dumpty could have learned something from her.
Although, to be fair, she's also stitched together, and this is like a Frankenstein version. So, like, why didn't she do this before? I guess there's nowhere really to hide.
So that was a better glimpse at Danny Elfman's head.
I wish I was stuffed. I'm pretty much stuffed with pumpkin spice and leaves, so I'm kind of like Sally. I just can't sew.
You're stuffed with leaves.
Pumpkin spice and deliciously colored leaves.
It just got her best. Just the music, this whole movie, just the music, it's just perfect.
That's one good thing that Danny Elfman, man, he just knocks it out of the park, whatever he does, like the Batman soundtrack. And then obviously this soundtrack, the guy's a genius. Him and Hans Zimmer, like my two favorite composers, just because they destroy everything they're in.
Right.
And again, this guy doesn't even have no legs.
I just saw like the light above the music was a jack-o'-lantern face, and I've never noticed that.
Gone again. Yeah, you toothless fuck. Like, you don't have legs. You're not chasing after anybody.
Yeah, you think he could make himself some new legs.
I know all these scientists. You literally brought Sally to life or whatever it was, and you can't even get yourself new legs.
Right.
Come on, Lieutenant Dan.
I was just thinking that too. You got new legs.
Lieutenant Dan, you got no legs, and now your slave girl's running off with the town skeleton.
Same thing they put on the spacecraft.
Jack's a pimp. Like, look at that. A bottle of love potion or whatever and bone fish. Like, oh, yeah.
Look how happy he looks at the flutterby. That was so
And
sweet.
she ran away. Jack was like, hey, you coming up to split this bottle with me, girl, or what? It's a high school crush all over again, man.
And here comes her vision.
The shy emo girl.
So anyone who ever plans to go to Disneyland, you should go between October and December, and then you can see the Haunted Mansion decorated like Nightmare. They do such a good job at the overlay. And if you can't get there, there is a special on Disney Plus where they.
No, I don't want to watch a
about it.
special. I want to be there.
Oh, I went. It was so amazing.
We
They don't do
might
it
try
at
it
ours
next year.
because. Well, they said they won't do it at the one at Magic Kingdom because Disneyland gets a lot of locals. And so let's go to Disneyland and Haunted Mansion shut down for 3 weeks because they're doing it. Get a lot more people that don't live here, and they lose their minds when the Haunted Mansion's closed. Because the Haunted Mansion's it's one of the classics. I love this one with the mom.
Hoppy
with the,
hasn't died.
kid, with the rope.
She's got this leash around him.
He's
Like, what
already
the hell?
dead. I know, it's so.
Where are you going
funny.
to run off to in this town?
That was the one thing that never made sense. Like, he starts off the movie with, since I'm dead, I can take off my head. And then more than once in this movie, they're like, oh no, he's dead.
See, I blame this movie for corporate America. If it wasn't for Jack obsessing with Christmas during Halloween time, we wouldn't have Christmas lights out in freaking August already. All right.
Technically, it's November right now.
Yeah, but God dang it.
He doesn't start to obsess over Christmas until November 1st.
Okay, that's fair. I always start on Thanksgiving. So now I'm actually going to use this as my excuse to hang Christmas lights up November 1st. Jack did it. He said,
Fair
Halloween's cold in the ground. Let's go.
My kids have used that excuse on me. Well, we'll still listen to Jack music. Yeah, Jack doesn't go away from now until the end of December.
Nor should
After
he.
actually, yeah.
But what
Well,
does it mean?
I do
What
see
does it
people
mean?
regularly at Disney, though, will have Jack stuff all year. And I'm always like, to me, it's kept special because it's just that, it's 1/4 of the year he's allowed out.
I mean, that's why I love Halloween and Christmas. It's like you feel nothing from like January until July. Then you stuff your face with burgers and stuff. And then you feel nothing again until October.
Jesus Christ.
Like, I just feel fat half the year. Okay. Let me be happy over something.
Oh, that was a good picture of his jack-o'-lantern nose. No, January's the hangover of the holidays. It's the worst.
Well,
And
usually,
I love this when he's got the little vision of the Santa Claus outfit. But, we figured, we tried to figure it out one year. Okay, we got to start planning fun vacations in January so we're not just depressed. And we planned a really awesome vacation in January 2020. And then the world took a shit.
At least you got to go on vacation or something though, Tony. And then,
Oh my gosh. I even thought about that. Like because that was the kids' Christmas present. So December 2019, as we went, I've talked about it before. It was a total of 24 of us, including the kids, and all the kids, that was their Christmas present. So on like Christmas Day, all the kids are FaceTiming each other. They're all excited to go on this cruise. And I felt like, oh my God, what if the cruise had been scheduled for like March 15th?
Right? You could have been
That
stuck
would've
out to
sucked.
sea for a month.
Oh my God, stuck
On a
up. Could you
boat
imagine?
with the
and
kids?
we always get the inside rooms on the boats. Like, we get the cheapest room imaginable. That would be terrible.
I've never been on a cruise. Carrie wants to go on one. I have never been.
Wow. I mean, they're not the best for the ocean. Disney's the most environmentally friendly one. I won't go on a Carnival.
Oh, I would do a Disney cruise. It'd be sick. I guess.
The Disney
I don't
ones are the
know.
best. I mean, you pay for them out the ass, but they're the best.
Perhaps. And then none of these people understand the assignment whatsoever.
Yeah, they all do their own little thing.
What do you want? I need a sleigh, damn it.
I love the Tim Burton Christmas stuff, though. It's so
I need a book. I need a Christmas Tim Burton book.
Well, you can buy one.
Can you?
He has his poem.
Oh, I didn't realize you can buy it.
Yeah, but it's like $25 at Barnes & Noble, so I've never bought it.
Yeah, that's going to be a no from me. These little assholes.
All right, let me see what one of them's Pee Wee Herman. They really are. So I've always wondered, though, are these kids human? Are they like actual trick-or-treaters, or do they actually live in Halloween Town?
I feel like there are probably trick-or-treaters who die who now live in Halloween Town.
See, in that regard, that's pretty fucking dark.
Well, this whole movie's dark.
Pee-wee Locke. Locke is the skeleton, I believe. Yeah, because Shock is the witch. And, no, Barrel's the skeleton. I'm sorry. Locke is the devil.
Little Black Widow. And then leave Oogie Boogie at it. Like, why haven't you just killed Oogie Boogie at this point if he's like the town asshole?
Don't worry. Santa's going to kill him.
Like, come on, Jack. What are you doing? Run your town, dude. You got this useless mayor. You got this, like, guy who kidnaps girls and keeps them hidden. And then you got Oogie Boogie who's out here doing whatever he's doing. Oogie Boogie's like, or, you know, I don't even know. The mayor's like Rudy Giuliani.
This is such a fantastic song, though. Oh, well, now you're just being mean to the mayor. But if you listen to the words of this song, it's so fucking dark. They're like talking about how they're going to murder Santa. We're going to stick him in a boiling pot.
Yeah, these kids are ruthless, dude. This encompasses kids pretty well, though, because kids are freaking brutal. Like last night, my son, he had a freak out because he colored on the walls. And this dude is out here like, I want a new mom. He was like, I want to kill dad. And I'm like, yo, what?
But it's also a good representation of what was acceptable in the 80s and early 90s with the, like, you know, they're yelling, shut up and all this stuff.
90
I love
years,
the
let
Tim
him
Burton
see if he
swirls.
talks.
You see that in all his movies. Just again, look at the candles in the background, just all the stuff in the background, all the details. It's just
That's
so
pretty good
perfect.
camera work.
Well, when you spend a whole week doing a minute, it's got to be perfect.
That's why this movie's only 120 or an hour.
Yeah,
minutes.
I'm sure. Well, it's a pretty short poem. I mean, the thing that extends it are the songs.
Yeah. For real, though, like, where are your parents, kids? Where are these kids' parents?
Well, and you see, they don't have like normal phalanges.
You could have just said hands.
No, because I was referring to hands and feet. So when you're referring to hands and feet, phalanges is the proper term.
I am not looking at their feet. I am not Quentin Tarantino. I am sorry.
What is that with Quentin? I didn't know that was a thing until I forget what came up.
Quentin Tarantino loves
with
himself some
Harley
feet.
Quinn.
All right. That man got to suck on Salma Hayek's toes. Like, first of all, that's disgusting.
Yeah, all toes are disgusting. It doesn't matter who you are. Well, okay, maybe if you don't walk, I don't.
You wash them real nice, so yeah.
You wash them real nice, you don't walk on them every day.
Ew. Ooh, yeah, look at that. We'll have them because Santa's gonna love some scorpions.
I love the art around the eyes too. I don't know what it is. It just makes the eyes so dark. And then the bag is jack-o'-lanterns.
I mean, what's great about this is like the colors pop, even though everything's kind of dull and dreary.
Yeah, they really do.
They've done such a great job, like making the colors stand out to you.
Yeah. And then you've only seen Oogie Boogie via like really shadow at this point.
Yeah, at this point, they're kind of hiding him. Snake eyes.
I love that he's a gambling man.
Well, yeah, all the gambling people are pretty awful human beings. And they all go to church on Sundays.
There you go. There's Danny Elfman. That's a good shot of him right there in the...
Oh, yeah, it is. That's right.
Whatever that's called. Cello? Is it a cello?
Is it cello or bass? I don't know.
I don't know. I know nothing as far as...
I haven't played musical instruments in a while. My bass has been sitting in its case.
The I can play Mary Had a Little Lamb on a phone that sticks to the wall.
I used to slap on the saxophone. I'll have you know that I won an award once at a competition.
Wow, for playing saxophone.
I did. And then I stopped playing because my parents didn't love me enough and I forgot how to play. I used to rip it up, man. I need a Sandy Claus outfit.
Rifle. So, yeah.
Sally, just make your man's an outfit. Come on.
He's like, how could it go wrong? I'm not listening to you
Sally,
at all.
Literally look at me. I'm Bones. All right.
I forget how many he had. So he had like, I don't know how many heads. Sally had a bunch of heads, but he had like 1 million heads. I'm going to Google that. How many heads did Jack Skellington have?
Nutcracker. They really kidnapped Sandy Claus. This poor guy.
Did we get a glimpse of Easterland?
That's right. You do get a glimpse of the Easter Bunny. I forgot about that scene. And he's actually not that creepy in all things compared.
There are 400 Jack Skellington heads.
Holy shit. That's not Sandy Claus.
So yeah, so they kept his, like a lot of times his body was the same and they replaced one of the 400 heads.
But like, to be fair, this is exactly what it's like talking to kids. You give them precise instructions and then it's like, no, this one.
So in the original poem that the movie's based off, there were actually only 3 characters. It was Jack, Zero, and Santa Claus.
Oh, interesting. This guy's meanwhile making his next wife.
I know.
It's like a creative character in a video game.
This movie took 3 years to make. Oh, and if anybody watches Beetlejuice, Jack Skellington actually makes an appearance in the movie.
Does he really?
So, I actually knew this one. I don't see exactly where it is in here. You know the table Beetlejuice is on?
Yeah.
Jack's on that table.
I always forget. I think we talked about this.
He also makes a cameo in James and the Giant Peach.
That movie.
Oh, and in Princess and the Frog. You know when they're Shadow Man's in the graveyard?
Oh yeah.
There's a silhouette. You can see Jack Skellington's face. Which, if you go to Disneyland, that's where you actually see Jack Skellington is in New Orleans Square.
Oh. These clowns are also terrifying.
Okay, this is bullshit. Princess and the Frog is correct. Now they're saying you can find him in Finding Nemo. Bullshit.
What? No way. I went to Finding Nemo. I didn't see him.
I don't buy that one. Alice in Wonderland and Sleepy Hollow. Maybe. Finding Nemo.
We got a resident Disney Burton. Expert. All right.
So this one, so Jack Skellington, his outfit was originally all black, but they couldn't see him well. He didn't pop, so that's why they added the pinstripes.
I mean, it looks much more snazzy.
I Googled that one thing and then I found all these things. I'm like, oh yeah, I know. So that's supposed to be Mickey Mouse right there. And that duck is supposed to be Donald Duck. It was like their nods to Mickey and Donald, because even though they weren't obviously a Disney movie, they were still a Disney movie.
Well, they're Disney affiliated and now they're on Disney Plus, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, once they realize kids aren't, necessarily terrified. I mean, they've run with it now. If you went to Not So Scary at the theme parks, which is, Disney's Halloween party 10 years ago, probably 10 years ago, we had Kaylee's 7th birthday party at Magic Kingdom at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween. There was nothing with Jack Skellington there at all.
Well, now he's an
and
icon.
You go now and Oogie Boogie's part of the show. There's a ridiculously long line to Sally.
It's so funny how that happens.
Halloween all over the parks.
This stuff blows up to become
Hocus Pocus too.
Hocus Pocus. That's another one that we always watched, and then out of nowhere it became this big following. It's crazy,
right? And what's weird is they're both Disney movies that came out the same year, and that both tanked.
Oh yeah. And then now they're these massive followings, and now they're even making Hocus Pocus 2.
Here's the cookies I was talking about.
Oh yeah,
See how they have all the dough?
Is. Yeah, that makes no sense.
Vanishes.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, sorry, Tim Burton, you lost us there. He's like, sorry, I was busy.
0 out of 10 for accuracy, pal.
This is all
Was he able to
believable
finally
until that
stand
moment.
up? Oh, I thought he was standing up finally. I was like, this dude finally made himself some legs.
I love this part too, where it goes back and forth between that creepy Halloween vibe and that like cheerful Disney or Christmas vibe.
They make like the most terrifying toys for these poor kids. You know what everybody wants? These awfully terrifying Rob Zombie looking Jack in the Boxes.
Oh, here we got not Jack. We got Beetlejuice Snake.
Yep, that's the snake. Yeah, from Beetlejuice. Coffins. Who doesn't want a coffin at Christmas time?
Right?
I will say one of the best scenes is when he pops up out of that coffin dressed like Santa Claus.
Oh, I think the best one's when he rips off the Santa Claus outfit.
Or when they're shooting him down like it's World War II.
Aw, poor Jackie.
Christmas time.
This is so just perfect Rudolph.
All right,
Even
folks,
this
it's
clock,
Christmas
I think you
time.
can
Buckle up.
I love that. Just look in the background here with all the candy and everything and the list.
Poor Santa Claus. Is
And you know
how long did it take them to like?
Chair.
They took so long to kidnap him finally too.
Right?
Like they
They
it
get
was
him
a
in
month
the
ago.
freaking
Jack sent these
time.
kids a month ago.
They glue it to his jaw, the beard.
They put hot glue, all right.
Yeah, that's
but
true. And it'll come right off for Halloween.
Exactly. That or she stitched it on there. I don't know.
I was pulling stuff out for Halloween last week and I'm like ripping glue off shit.
It burns like hell when it burns your hands when you're trying to do it, but by God.
Oh yeah. I've actually gotten blisters from hot glue before.
Oh yeah. So same here. It's the worst.
So nice. So then it peels off. This beer is great. I'm really loving this beer.
It's got a lot of pumpkin flavor to it. I really like it, but it's not too overbearing.
Yeah. It's got that good combination. It's like how much candy was in that bag that's all stuck all over his beard.
Oh yeah.
This is such a great
dude.
like screenshot right there.
Santa, what's happening? This man's
Sit
like,
with
yo,
the, like,
I'm
little-
high as hell. Mrs. Claus is making those brownies and cookies. I'm too
Right?
high for this.
And she got those gummies.
She was giving me the goods for my trip, and now I'm high off my ass, and God knows where.
I love that Jack thinks it's an acceptable way to go get him is to put him in a garbage bag. I loved when they showed the little rat. There was like candy corn on the floor. All right, candy corn, love it or hate it.
I like 2 pieces, and then I get sick. My stomach literally hurts.
I feel like that's fair.
Carrie and the kids love it. I just it's like
Yeah.
gummies. So like gummy worms and teddy like gummy bears. I can eat 2 pieces, and then anything after that, my stomach just hurts. But if you give me like Reese's, dude, I will eat the entire mega bag of Reese's.
Oh, I love Reese's. No, I had to stop buying candy corn because Josh would eat them by the handful.
Yeah. See, Carrie's a big candy corn fan. I, on the other hand, not so much. This dude. Oh, no, he finally made his body.
So isn't
That's
this
right.
just like right? But it's just, I mean, I don't know. I think this is borderline masturbation.
I mean, yeah. He put half his brain in there. It's just like Loki with Sylvie.
Yeah. But at least they have different life experiences, Loki and Sylvie,
That's true. Poor Santa's getting a
that have
plunger up
shaped
the
them
bumhole,
into
man.
different people.
This is Santa's sexual awakening, apparently, right here. He's getting a plunger while he's getting pushed down a pipe.
Plungers were big back in the early 90s. You got Ace Ventura,
Oh, yeah.
Finkel and Einhorn scene.
I'm getting
I
tagged in
love
all
this
these
habit.
like Untapped. I keep forgetting I got like 30 beers to put in Untapped.
Oh, yeah. I need to work on that.
Got so many.
Beat Ian. Ian's winning right now. Ooh.
Well.
scared.
What do we have here?
Joking.
You're joking. You're joking. I can't believe my eyes.
So did you know Sir Patrick Stewart was actually supposed to be the original voice at the beginning? And there are like I think on Spotify even there's a certain beginning where you actually hear him doing it.
Oh, really?
It's Patrick Stewart.
It's like Chris
so there
Farley
are versions
Shrek.
of there out there.
I don't think Patrick Stewart's still alive, but
Chris Farley was supposed to voice Shrek.
He literally did most of the movie for Shrek. Yeah. And then they redid the whole thing. It was supposed to be like a whole different Shrek. Yeah. Chris Farley was Shrek.
Wow. Chris Farley, I think he died. I think I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah, he died. It was like, 99, 2000, something like that?
I remember seeing a movie on like one of my first dates ever. And like, it was that movie where they had to finish it with like a computerized version of him or a robot version of him.
Oh, really?
It was that really bad movie with Chandler Bing, Matthew Perry.
I don't remember. I have to look it up because I don't remember that one. I do. Chris Farley movies, bangers. But yeah, he was Shrek. And then he did some voice work. There's like voice stuff out there of him doing it. And then obviously he passed away and the movie wasn't finished. So they redid the whole thing.
Which is probably good they did since there were so many sequels. I don't know why they ended up not going with him. But you can still hear some stuff. So the original ending of this, though, it was supposed to reveal that Dr. Finkelstein was Oogie Boogie. It's like a Scooby-Doo ending.
Who is it behind there? That would have kind of been a badass ending, though. But it makes sense to have this like mega asshole living somewhere in your town, I guess. Old Santa, man. All you want to do is just eat cookies and make the kids happy.
Oh, there's an extended. I didn't know this one.
We have an extended version.
Extended version where Jack becomes a father.
What? How does that work? Weird.
Oh, Elfman's also the clown with the tearaway face.
I'm still trying to figure out how that works. Jack and Sally, I assume.
I guess I don't know.
They literally bone.
But does he have a penis? Because if he's all bone and there's no bone in your penis.
Maybe she stitches him one. Oh. It's like the Lego movie. They're just master builders.
Oh, they're master builders. He definitely looks like the Grinch there with that little smile.
Oh, yeah. Jack is feeling himself. He's like, look at me. And who wouldn't, though? I would, too. To be fair, I'd be feeling myself just as much. Although
I love that they have party hats on.
Oh, they're all ready to party. The mayor's ready to party. He's all decked out. He's got the beard and everything.
See, and this scene right here is why we all as kids thought the Zero's nose was red.
Yeah, I still can't believe that until today. I never paid attention to his nose.
If anybody out there realized it was a jack-o'-lantern the first time they saw this, please let us know and let us know how old you were when you watched.
You're lying.
But I mean, like, it's orange right there. And
there, it is
the nose glowing. It is orange.
Like, but then you're also like, is it just a fog? But then that would make sense.
I think but I feel like it's just ingrained into us that it's just Rudolph.
Yeah, because you're thinking he's leading, obviously. So you just think Rudolph, yeah. But I swear I've seen Zeros in stores with like a red nose. Maybe that's why.
You probably have, because there are other idiots like us.
But they get paid the big bucks, though.
Right there, it looked kind of red. Maybe it's like the Mandela
red right there.
effect.
Yeah.
Maybe it used to be red.
It's like the Berenstein Bears.
Yeah, that's the Mandela effect. Berenstain Bears.
I'm convinced. No, that one, we live in a weird timeline. That something happened. I'm convinced.
Or the Shazam movie.
It was Kazam, but we all thought, yeah, that's right.
There's also the Luke, I'm Your Father.
That one always a misconception, though. Sally hitting bangers too, man. Everybody see to live in this. Again, some mega talent.
Kevin McAllister's mom right here. Have you seen Schitt's Creek?
I've seen a few episodes. I haven't caught on to it. Carrie watched the whole thing. She was really big into it.
Yeah, it's a great show. I love that show. I love David. Well, and it's so funny. Like was I don't know, in the third season when I realized like David's actually Eugene Levy's son. And I'm like, how did I not
like they get the bushy eyebrows?
Clearly related. But then like yeah, I know, the eyebrows. And then his daughter's in it too, but she doesn't play his daughter.
Oh, I didn't really realize his daughter was in it.
She's the girl that works at the restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's a regular throughout.
Old Sally just out here. This is probably this right here is the grainiest this movie has looked at any point. Like this is where you're like, oh, I guess this is an older movie. But
fog.
Yeah, the fog kind of brings it out.
That cat. Oh. That's a creepy fucking cat. It
is crazy though that like you can go to Box Lunch, which is a really cool store, and like they have her dress there. But as you know, when we were younger, you could not buy any of this stuff. It's crazy.
No. Well, when Brielle was 0, I was able to buy I bought the dress at Hot Topic, so I do have the dress. No time flat.
His nose is red right here. Maybe this is why, because his nose is literally red right there.
They're red with us. Maybe they made it a little redder to go with the Christmas theme now.
I don't even know. How did this all fit to the tree?
Here's where you know 90s movie. Look at those angels.
Oh, yeah, dude. Like, those angels.
Everybody had that decor in the 90s.
Those plastic things.
Yes. Especially the candles.
Carrie's grandma gifted us one of those hard plastic Easter bunnies. And we're like, neither of us knows what to do with this thing. But we have this in our garage.
I just saw Elvis plates in the background.
Oh, yeah. I did too.
Did you see that in the background? Yeah. Like Elvis on the walls. I've never noticed that. I love this movie.
This kid is also like, yo, I am just so tapped out. I'm out on Diamond Tap right now. I don't even know what's happening. This poor kid.
I like that the parents just scream. Would you scream in this situation? Like you probably wouldn't even think.
Yeah, that's real. Terrifying. Like what the?
I always wonder though, like, does Jack know a lot of these neighborhoods and stuff from Halloween? Like, is he going out and scaring these kids and it's acceptable then because it's Halloween and now he comes back and they're like, no, we want Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Look, he's just Santa Claus's hype man because it's like you go out there and you're such a shitty act that you actually want the main act at this point.
Isn't that old lady though? The shadow just looks creepy.
Yeah, it's really, oh man.
Look at this tree. Oh, there's the Beetlejuice snake again. So that's Mickey.
This man's got a candy.
And you're going to look at these kids' PJs. It's Mickey and Donald.
Oh, I see the Donald Duck on it now. I never paid attention bore. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's got Mickey and then the toys are like representing Mickey and Donald.
Okay. I see the Mickey. Yep.
No, which is so funny though when it came out. Well, yeah, that would be traumatizing.
Also, is this like the first time that there's ever been like an African-American family in any Disney movie in the 90s?
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Maybe. I don't know. And there was an Asian one there.
Yeah, like this is the most representation you've ever gotten in a Disney movie in the 90s.
Huh. Never thought of that.
That was me as a kid, fat with glasses. little Matt Roth running through the halls, fat with glasses.
Did Santa Claus scare you when you were little too?
Yeah, because my parents were awful.
Aw.
Just kidding. Oh, the police. You never actually see the police face. Hello?
Yeah, it's like Muppet Babies.
Adults.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Ed and Eddie or Dexter's Lab or whatever it was. You never saw their faces either.
Oh, see, I was thinking like Muppet Babies or Charlie Brown.
Oh, that's what it was. Charlie Brown as well. Yeah.
Well, Charlie Brown, you didn't even hear them. It was wah, 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 wah.
Because as kids, that's all you hear.
And then the kids have to like repeat what the parents supposedly said.
See, this is like some World War II shit right here.
I know. And poor Jackie thinks like, they're so proud of them.
They got the AA guns. Jack's just out here like, yeah, brother. And everyone's getting blown out of the sky. Like, look at those things. Those are World War II guns right there. This man is D-Day right now.
You know, there's nothing really to specify what year it is. Like, you see that one Christmas tree, and that looks like something out of the 60s.
Yeah, you really don't, actually. That's a good point. Until those guns that are clearly from Normandy.
Well, and at the beginning, too, it's almost like Star Wars, like in a galaxy far, far away and, you know, a long time ago. And so they even say it in the beginning of this, like, you know, place you may have seen in your dreams a long time ago. So who knows when this movie is supposed to be?
Oh, Oogie, he's like, man, look at that leg. Oh,
Yep.
shit. Is that an ankle I see? That's like Quentin Tarantino right there. Like, is that an ankle?
That's what you get, Oogie Boogie, for
Yo,
being.
imagine how freaky that Sally gets
like
with
that.
Jack, though. No wonder they have a kid in the extended version. She literally loses body parts. It's like the leg lamp.
Oh my, that's what it was. The other day, somebody was saying something about a Toy Story, not a Toy Story, a Christmas Story leg lamp. And I'm like, I saw another version of it somewhere and I can't
Yeah,
remember.
it was in this, the leg lamp.
I saw a Sally leg lamp recently. Oh, I got to text Aaron. I totally forgot.
Hey, Oliver's on there. The names on the
was
list.
he?
Yeah, I saw Oliver. I saw a couple other names.
I would bet none of my kids are.
These things are getting blown out of the sky. I don't know why this is like hilarious to me. These just giant guns that this happy Christmas town has. And then they got these like anti-aircraft guns that are like, take them down, boys.
This part when you just see that, and he just says, "Oh, look at nice," so sad.
He just falls
I always
down.
felt so bad for here.
Good night. Yeah, dude, you went from like 0 to this gigantic town that had giant anti-aircraft guns ready to blow Santa out of the sky.
But see here, they're like thinking he died. It's like he's already dead, though.
What is dead may never die.
What is dead should stay dead.
Oh. I knew this Christmas.
No, you gotta
was a
love how the
bad
politician
idea.
immediately gets in his car and he's like, I gotta go tell everybody.
Terrible news, folks. The worst tragedy of our time. I like how he doesn't mince words either. He's like, Jack's been blown to literal bits.
And isn't the whole town right there anyways? Like, who's he going off to go
The whole
tell?
town was watching this whole thing, and he's like, guys,
Right.
I gotta go tell everybody. They're like, dude, we're all right here watching this happen right now.
When as much as I love this movie more than The Grinch definitely has a more nice ending to where like you don't need toys to be happy. Like here, everyone's just sad
Everyone's
they don't
sad
have their
that they got
Santa
these
toys.
nightmare toys.
So this scene hit different after I started watching Doctor Who and the Weeping Angels.
Oh yeah, you got the
episode.
angel in the cemetery right here. Don't blink.
Right. Yeah.
How
Jack is
like
blinking.
he's being
Oh,
held
did
up
you
by
see
this
his-
angel right now.
Right. And Zero just gave him his jaw.
Yeah, you
back.
saw that, right? Yeah.
This is about to be the best part of the entire movie, though.
This is one of the best songs. This is like his magnum opus. Jack's about to go to town.
But okay, so you're going to see him in a minute, though, go into the crypt to get back to Halloween Town. But how the fuck did he get there? Did he fly his sled?
Maybe there's
And it's the
multiple
same kind of
portals.
conundrum. Right. But it's the same conundrum with like going into Christmas Town. Like he finds this forest and goes into Christmas Town. Does he go
How
back
does the sleigh go
into
through
that? Like what? I think there's some things we're just not supposed to think about.
No, they're just like, shut up and color. And you're like, I will, but I got questions.
A lot of questions. That reads to your lies for
Oh, Jack is feeling himself. He's like, this is my moment. I'm getting an Oscar for this. All right.
Oh, look how sad Zero looks.
I like how nobody goes to investigate the crash site, though.
Right? But like we finally shot him out of the
We
sky.
blew
He's
something
sadly
out of the
dead.
sky, but nobody bothered to go. It's Christmas Eve and he's in the cemetery or something. I don't know.
Rule number 1 of horror movies: make sure he's dead.
He's like,
This is the best part right
Jack's
here.
like,
He's
I
gonna
lived,
rip up that
bitch.
Sandy Claus outfit.
well, what the heck?
But this is his moment where he realizes, like, yes, I was depressed because I've been doing the same thing over and over, and I feel like it's not making a difference. And he just realized what he does matters, and he's happy being who he is. He doesn't need to try to be somebody else.
Take that lesson home with you, kids. You don't need to try to be somebody else. Just be you.
But not only does he, the Pumpkin King.
Everybody
That's
go
right.
out. Get that "Be Beautiful" tattooed on your leg or whatever it may be. Because be you.
What is that, Bruce Almighty? Beautiful.
Yeah, that's honestly how I spell beautiful to this day. Is I'll sing that in my head like
Yep.
that. I'm like, oh yeah,
Same.
beautiful.
But that was such like a moment though, where it wasn't just a self-realization. It was also like, I fucked up. I need to fix this.
Jack's about to go beat the shit out of Oogie Boogie though. And I'm here for it.
Yep. Because he's not just like, let's start planning Halloween. That's what I'm good at. He's like, no, I need to fix Christmas first because what I did was wrong.
The best part of this is like, you think Jack is this like soft dude, which he is. But then also when he needs to like do business, he's like, no, Jack's about to really go to town right now. He John Wick's Oogie Boogie.
Well, nobody better do anything to Zero.
He's like, those fucking kids.
Look at
First of
an 8
all,
ball. I didn't realize it was an 8 ball in the middle of there.
oh yeah, I didn't either. But I guess that makes sense because he's such a gambling kind of guy.
Yeah. He's a gambling boogie.
You what?
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa.
But I feel like this scene is how Halloween Town sees him, like how he saves them and like comes in.
He's their
'Cause you're
literal
kinda
hero.
like, yeah, you kind of wonder, everybody's so obsessed with him and they're so admired by him and they're so feared by him at the same time. And it's like, this is where we actually see, this is our first glimpse of seeing Jack Skellington.
Give me Jack's gritty backstory where he was a human working at Disney's Halloween Horror Nights, bringing joy to kids. And then he dies in a tragic accident and he takes over the Pumpkin King mantle in a vicious battle.
It'd be interesting if he died at Universal and then becomes Disney property.
Wouldn't it? Hey, you know what?
You're
Anything
taking
could
it back
happen.
to Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I'm just saying, Jack's gritty backstory. Obviously, he was a badass in the former life.
Or was he the little boy from Frank
What
and
the-
Weenie and then Corpse Bride?
Oh, I have heard that theory as well.
Because that's in line with the dogs.
That is true. And it kind of looks not like him, but
Well, I mean, it's
Double
well, he's a
dead.
Skellington, so technically Jack could look like anyone.
dude, this got crazy. Like, listen, kids, if there's one thing to take from this movie is that gambling destroys your soul. All right, look at this.
So they sell like this Oogie Boogie like wall decor at Magic Kingdom for like $30, and it's fucking made out of like the burlap. So go to your local craft store, buy $5 worth of burlap, and make your own.
Oh.
I love here when he's like dancing on the shooting guys. And look at this. This is why you got to make sure your threads are tight, because one
Look
pull
at-
of
see?
a thread.
This is why you always got to make sure you're burning off your edges and stuff. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. The lighter.
Haha. He
Oh,
thinks he's
no.
got him, but Jack's like, I don't think so, motherfucker.
And to find out he's made out of bugs. That I did not see that one coming.
You cockroach. Ew. So gross.
What was it? I thought he was saying something else when I was little. Not my bugs.
My bugs. My bugs.
My bugs. And here's Santa, like, oh, vicious. How tiny are Santa's feet and hands? He's like the guy in those old Whopper commercials.
Next
She's
time,
like, finally, somebody heard me.
Santa's so sassy. He's like, yo, I've had enough of this shit. All right. The next time you want to come up in here, just don't. Just don't. Because I'm packing. All right.
I love that he like pushes his nose and like blows out of his nose. It's like
He also could use some
magical
chapstick.
Christmas Coke.
He could use some chapstick. Jack's like, oh, my bad.
Well, hello,
Sally, what's up?
Notice how long Jack's fingers are.
She's like, look at those bony hands. Nothing gets me more in the mood than killing a guy in a sack full of bugs.
And now the trick-or-treaters are so happy to see Jack.
Nah,
Oh my God, look at all those coffees that lady crushed.
screw that though. Like, dang, that's honestly me.
You
During
think the
pumpkin
fat kid
spice
really
season.
just wants a candy cane?
I mean, he's fat. Yeah, probably.
Just a single candy cane?
Here's a candy cane, kid. Go get your diabetes.
Hey. I feel like the candy cane's the healthiest thing that kid's probably
Hold on,
eaten
no,
today.
like Santa gives some half-ass gifts though. Can we talk like the candy cane, like a stupid stuffed animal? Like, come on, Santa, step your game up. No wonder you got kidnapped.
Santa fucking delivers at our house.
Santa delivers
Just
at this
saying.
house too. I'm just saying. Santa,
But he
Santa
didn't
packs
when I
heat.
was little.
Oh no, Santa did not when I was little, but Santa packs when he comes to this house.
Well, I had two Santas. I had the Santa that arrived at my dad's house that was mixed with really good stuff and stuff that you could find at a credit card convention.
What?
Because my dad always worked, he does like credit card transactions is what he's worked for Barnett Bank.
So
and
he's
Chase and
bringing you
Banco.
like brochures for 0%
No,
financing.
not brochures. We'd get like really good stuff in our stockings, and then it would be like, like one of those little games
Don't forget to
that you
sell.
slide the things, but it would say Nabanco, or it would be like a
Capital
ball, and it
One.
would say like Chase. Yeah, but then there would be good stuff in there too. And then my mom, I never knew what I was going to get from her. Some dollar store
that
stuff.
Same here is like, was I going to get my mom in a grid mood, or was she going to beat me? I have no idea. It's a surprise.
Let's just say I'm still waiting for my American Girl doll. Yet my kids all have multiple ones. She
Hey,
was
you
ready
know
to buy
what?
Logan one because there was one named Logan.
That sounds about right. No, that sounds about right. Now it's all
Yeah.
snowing. Look, frozen over. Sally's
Still
like,
pretty.
"Damn." That is mint. Like, I love a fresh powder of snow.
See, the beginning of this movie, I'm just so fucking jacked for Halloween. And by the end, I want a fucking Christmas tree.
No, that is exactly how it is. You're like, you go through a range of emotions in this film where it's like, dude, Halloween is here. And then at the end, it's like, oh shit, snow, Christmas. And now we're like, all the things that we give to our kids that we never got as kids, like a Turbo Man doll. Oh, we
I
got to
just
do
want
a
that
jingle all the
Kirsten
way.
doll.
We're gonna do a jingle all the way commentary this year. I don't care how.
But I don't love that movie.
Okay, I love that movie, but that's even better because you can just shit on it for an hour and a half.
Rag on it.
Yeah, I'm just over here
Okay.
like, this is the best part. Look, see, the thing is, like, Jack showed
The
no
turbo
interest in
man.
her, but all of a sudden he's like, yo, what's up, girl? You looking kind of good. Zero, you
You love how
freaking
Zero
cunt.
flies out of there like he's E.T. But then you see that Christmas star. It even has a Christmas star in it.
It does. It ended on
There
a
you
good
go.
note.
Oh,
This movie,
Henry
though,
Selick. I was right. I said that right.
you did.
Okay,
That's
good.
right. Oh, so that was the end of the movie. This movie is overall obviously very good. We love this film. Actually, really, the runtime of this movie is only an hour and 11 minutes. It's 8 minutes worth of credits.
Yeah.
That's something that I always forget. Good timing though, because I just finished my beer. I will say this movie though, very good, very good. Highly recommend. And this is a movie you can watch Christmas or Halloween. So, any parting words before we depart from this adventure?
And we'll see you next week for some Scream.
You're gonna have to say that again because you were cut out, and I just caught. We'll see you for Scream.
Perfect. That's all I said.
Well, yes. Next week we're
My
going to talk
internet
about.
hasn't been the best tonight.
You know what? That's okay. Mine surprisingly is hauled out. But next week we are going to talk Scream. And if there's a horror movie you want to see us either commentate or talk about, let us know. By all means, let us know. And if we messed anything up in this fine podcast, once again, as always, let us know. This comes out Monday. We've probably seen Venom at this point, unfortunately. So
I'm not going to theater. You probably have. I have.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. But thanks for joining us on another great episode. Nightmare Before Christmas. We're kicking off spooky season, folks. It's here. The best month of all time. All time. With that said, I'm Ash. Thanks, Hoppy, for joining, as always. And cheers, everybody.